Hello, everyone. Welcome again to another episode of the Backyard Sportscenter podcast. I am your host, Natastic28. Today, I am along with the captain and coach of the legendary Team Fish, Elchrisblanco. How are you doing today?
Hey, Nate. I'm doing well. Thanks for having me on.
Love to have you on the show. I've been wanting to have you on for a while now, and just, schedules finally lined up.
Yeah, it's been a little bit of a busy time, and so I've wanted to be on this for a while, and glad that we found a time that worked.
One thing I really wanted to, when I was first starting doing this, and I was having some issues with like the editing or whatever, and you told me that you could split up on Streamlabs, you could split up the audio into different tracks. And that was just made everything so much better. You don't even know how amazing that was. And that probably, that just sounds so simple, but it made everything so much easier to line up all the different conversations and whatnot.
Yeah, I mean, I've been editing for a while. I edit for a living, and it's amazing. Like, even now, I'm 5 years into my career, 6 years into my career, and sometimes I'm still discovering little tools that can just cut the time of editing down by so much. And so it's always nice to find one of those nuggets and realize that something you had been doing tediously can be cut down by this simple shortcut kind of thing. So yeah, it's great. I'm glad that one has worked out for you.
Yeah, that was really, really great. And speaking of editing, Chris has been doing a lot of the match of the week editings, and they're always amazing. I don't really know. I know there's a lot of work goes into it, but you always do an amazing job, and we're so thankful that you're able to do that, pretty much almost every week.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Match of the week has really grown into a nice, consistent offering in a way. I mean, it could be more consistent, but it's a bunch of us just volunteering, and it's fun. It brings some sort of excitement and prestige to certain games. Allows everyone to be featured at some point throughout the season, and have some sort of production aspect to it. And we put a lot of work into it, especially at the beginning, and that was a lot of time and a lot of effort. And there also, we had a pretty big team, when we started it in, I think, season 7. I would love to even make it bigger, but the last couple of weeks, it's been pretty bare bones editing, but I still like getting it out there and adding at least something to make it seem like it's a little special. So yeah, I enjoy doing it. I enjoy telling my friends about it too. Some of them will tune in and watch. It's a good time.
And I don't know if, anyone's really been paying attention to it, but I know it's the past kind of month or month and a half, between the finishing of the online playoffs and these first couple, match of the week games, the viewership has been increasing this year just from what it was the previous year. So with match of the week and some of the streams or whatever. So
yeah, definitely.
It's definitely growing, and that people are out there. We just have to find them wherever they are, hiding underneath all the rocks.
Yeah, it is enjoyable to notice when folks are tuning in just to watch Backyard Baseball, even if they're not in the Reddit group, just because it's, some people like living the nostalgia, even if they don't want to play it. And so it's cool to see consistently higher viewer numbers that, when we started it, everyone in the league was watching, and then it kind of dipped a little bit. And then once the online league really took off, it just that sort of combined interest. They, folks who are only in online still kind of tune in for the offline stuff and vice versa.
Mm-hmm. That's really cool. Even if people aren't participating, like you said, they still want to be supportive and watch the other content, which is really amazing.
Yeah. Yep. I agree. Yeah. It's been a fun endeavor.
Like I mentioned, in the beginning when I introduced you, how did Team Fish come about? What's the origin story?
That's a good question. So yeah, Team Fish. So I picked the Seattle Fishes whenever we were able to really control, or I guess change the adjectives for adding, Seattle or whatever, the city names as adjectives to other teams, which I believe was a later development, right? That was season 7 or something like that when we were able to really hack into the file that way. I might be wrong. But so having that flexibility. I was like, I want to be the Fishes. I think I was able to finally be the Fishes in season 7 because someone else had been the Fishes. And then I don't know why it is that people really started jumping on the Fishes bandwagon. I don't know if it's just like a cool name or, I guess people like following me because I tend to have streaks or whatever, or you have the occasional stream where I'm, like last night where I'm coming back after being out with my friends at the bar and decide to play. I don't know if that's why people like it, but it really has caught on. And I mean, I'm here for it. It's nice that people want to root for the Fishes and see the Fishes succeed. And I like to deliver, although I think the farthest I've gotten is, I guess maybe I made the semifinals a couple seasons ago or the quarterfinals or something like that. But we'll see if we can get a Fishes championship at some point in the future. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, Seattle Fishes. I love the name Fishes because it's like not grammatically correct. It's just like Fishes is not. It's just that's not. I guess there might be some form where it's correct, but I mean the plural of fish is fish. So I loved that part of it, and so I just really wanted to adopt that sort of like silliness.
I never thought about that before, but like, there's so many things like that somebody will think of like that, and like it takes you like a second to like wait.
Right. It's just like, I love the generic names in general, but Fishes, as a kid, it annoyed me because I was like, that's not correct. And then as I got older, I was like, that's actually pretty funny.
They had to have done that on purpose.
Yeah. I mean, I think someone has pointed out that there is a correct way of using Fishes. It could be like something like Fishes could be used to describe like species of fishes or something like that. So, or like multiple groups of fish could be considered Fishes, but like, yeah, the plural fish is still fish. So,
I think I get what you're. Yeah.
yeah, but I like to just say it's not accurate, and that's why it's funny. So,
Let's just keep it at that.
yeah, yep.
That's your grammar lesson for today, Pepsi.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Pepsi. That's going to be on the pop quiz tomorrow.
So, what was your first season in the rBBL?
Yeah, I joined in season 5. It was the summer of 2020, and I was really missing sports, and I was, reconnecting with a lot of games. I think I like bought a bunch of games that year on the Steam summer sale. Like just, a lot like many of us, I was locked inside kind of, didn't know what to do, and some sort of fantasy sports. So I ended up, I think I might have already been a subscriber or of the subreddit for Backyard Baseball. And I noticed Crazy Eights. I didn't know who Crazy Eights was, but I noticed Crazy Eights had posted something about fantasy football, like fantasy backyard football scores or something on there. And I thought that was really cool. And I thought it would be fun to do some sort of like simulated backyard baseball season and do a fantasy version of that for my friends and I who were missing fantasy sports in general. And so I messaged Crazy Eights, and then he just invited me to the server. I never did the fantasy backyard baseball thing, but yeah. And then I was like, wait, there's a whole league here, and like it just was awesome. So I took over a team. The season had started. I took over the Bombers that year and finished that out, and then finally did a draft for season 6. I was the Mariners. So yeah, that's when I joined. It was 2020, and then just kept evolving from there. I really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed the draft process and all that, and just I think that the server is a lot of fun.
I didn't realize that season 7 was the first season that you had the Fishes team name.
Yeah, I think that I was just picking the Mariners because that's my favorite team IRL, and I don't know if I had the chance to pick the Fishes in season 6. I can't totally remember. And then I really wanted to dive in with the Fishes, I think, in season 7 because the name was available, and I just thought it would be fun to have one of the would you call it a generic name? I don't know. What do we call it? Like the Fishes, the Bombers,
the backyard team names.
The backyard team name. Yeah, I thought it would be fun to take one of those. I wasn't sure if I was going to keep it going, but I got it. I had the shirt made, and I love that shirt. I wear it around sometimes, and people kind of like do a double take because they know I'm a Mariners fan, so they assume I'm wearing I have a Mariners shirt that looks almost exactly like it. So sometimes people be like, "Wait, what? What's the Fishes like?" I actually went to there's a Seattle bar where I live where I was watching the Seahawks playoff game where they got killed by the 49ers. And I wore the Seattle Fishes shirt to that. And multiple people were like, what is a fish? Like, what is that? And it's just funny to explain it to them. Like everyone, like sometimes people don't really get it if they don't know what backyard baseball is, but most of the people at least have heard of it. So it's funny.
It's a good marketing tactic.
Yeah, for sure.
You know something that's really funny about the Mariners, and I don't know if you've realized this either, but the Mariners' drought of not making the playoffs coincided with the online servers for Backyard Baseball 2001 being down.
I had no idea about that, but that is, oh man. I mean,
because the last time they made the playoffs was like in 2001 or 2002.
Mm-hmm.
And then the servers went down, and they didn't make the playoffs until, Little Cat and the Backyard.
Yeah, and we brought the server up, and
Sports Online was, we got the servers back online, and then the Mariners made the playoffs. So the Mariners can thank Little Cat for making the playoffs.
I agree. And, the Mariners better capitalize on this window because, I'm hoping that this online server is around for the rest of my entire life. But if for any reason the server goes down, then it's over. It's over for the Mariners.
Yeah, I guess, the Mariners, might as well, should sponsor us because, as thanks for them being able to make the playoffs now.
Yeah. I agree wholeheartedly. I think they just signed some sort of TV deal, but they don't really seem to be spending the money on prized free agents. So maybe this can help them. They're getting some extra exposure. Maybe they can increase their likelihood of winning a World Series.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's a great idea. Yeah, we'll get our marketing team right on that.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny.
But let's get into what's been going on in season 10 of the rBBL. Can't believe it's season 10 already. And then you talk about season 6 and season 7, and it just sounds like forever ago.
It really does. And there's something about how, we do 2 seasons every calendar year. And so it's weird to say back in season 5, and it was, that's almost 3 years ago now. So man, season 10, and it's a big one too. It's the first one with after Yuri has stepped down, and now he just gets to be a degenerate in rBBL talk and chill out. I love that for him. But yeah, this is just what a wild what a wild show of attendance. 2 whole leagues. Was it 24? One of them has 22 teams, and one of them has 24, right?
They both have 22.
They both have 22. Okay. Yeah, that's unbelievable. Man, it's exciting.
And it's actually really interesting because it's split up. It's split up literally perfectly because there's 11 players or coaches that are only doing the 2001 league. There's 11 coaches that are doing the 2003 league only. And then there's 11 coaches that are doing both.
Yeah, I am one of the ones who's doing both.
Which is just crazy how that all just lines up perfectly numbers wise.
Yep. Now how did the numbers go for how many coaches picked the same team name for both leagues? How many coaches picked different ones, and then how many coaches who are brothers just picked opposite teams to confuse us all? Maybe the Cubs and the Padres or something.
The Cubs and the Padres. Yeah, they have. I on one of the last ones that I just am finishing editing up. I did it with Matitude, and we were talking about that too. It was thanks for confusing us all.
Right? Yeah. Batitude and Minjaminian. Yeah.
Yeah, but one thing is, one common theme is that Matitude's teams both have Ken Griffey Jr. on them.
Oh, that's good. That's some good consistency at least. Yeah, I almost messed up the graphics at the...
I think that's probably the only consistency I think that's the only thing that's consistent between the two.
Yeah, there was a point when I was finishing up the edit for Match of the Week between the both of them, and I like had double checked, and I was like, okay, the graphics are correct and all this, and then I was like exporting it, and then I had a moment. I don't know what I saw, but I was like, oh my goodness, did I misname their file? I'll sometimes change the file names because they like come in with like a random date or time. I'll like add their names on it. I'm like, wait, did I name Ben's file Matt and vice versa? And then I looked, and I was pretty sure I was correct. And then I realized it didn't really matter because I didn't put their names anywhere on the video. So I was like, whatever, at least the graphics are correct, and it is what it is.
Yeah, I know for the first match of the week you had the Rangers for instead of the Mets for Vizuri's side.
Yeah, because Wizard has a Power Ranger as his logo this year, and so I had brought in the Rangers logo. I got so confused by that. I was like, what the heck? Yeah, I exported out. I think it was like not even until I like loaded it up for the commentary, like for the match of the week, when I was like, wait, one of these teams is the Mets. Where's the Mets logo? It's like, well, dang it.
It was week 1. It was spring training for you editing too.
Yes, yeah. Got to get back into the swing of things.
Get all the bugs out.
Yep. But so far, so good. I've enjoyed the match of the week so far. Both good games, a little lower scoring overall, which is nice for the length of it and not as many cuts for me. And also the games are still very exciting when they're lower scoring, I think. So as long as they're close, I mean, someone pointed out like it can become a snooze fest if someone's actually like putting up 30 runs on match of the week because you're just watching the grind.
I know this is now like the 4th season that we've done this. I don't remember like a single. There might be like maybe like 1 week, but I can't think of any off the top of my head that have been like blowouts, like one way or the other. They've all been like seems like they're really really close matchups.
Yeah, I've learned. I feel like I've noticed a lot just about I mean, it's something that should seem obvious, but I notice more when I'm working on Match of the Week that a successful game has a certain type of like cadence to it. You know, I mean, people usually aren't putting up like 8 runs, 10 runs in the first innings of their games. Like it's like, okay, 2 to 3 runs in the first inning is like pretty successful. And then you're just trying to get more in the next inning and more after that. And it tends to line up with teams that are fairly evenly matched, you know. But there have also been some really great games where it kind of like looked like it was going in blowouts and then it just ended up being really tight. As far as like highest scoring, I know that there have been a couple games that like the edit was longer than an hour because it was like a 20 to 20 type game. But most of them tend to be 8 runs to 15 runs and fairly close. I feel like somehow we just pick really good games. So yeah.
Yeah, we've been lucky on picking solid, entertaining matchups. Hopefully that continues for the rest of the season.
I agree. Yeah, I think next week we have something in the works. I have to check, but I know.
I believe it's Blue Jays Twins.
Blue Jays Twins. Yeah, is that that's so Toast and in the 2001 league? Yeah, that'll be nice. Toast and Oops.
That's Mike, and Mike is the Twins in 01.
Oh, yeah. Oh, because Mike is the Twins in 01. That's right. I see. I see the Twins, and I just automatically think Toast. But yeah, no, that would be good. Mike Madness and Oops.
I do the same thing, but then I have to like double take. I'm like, wait, it's not Toast for 01.
Yeah. And every time Wizard, it doesn't matter what team Wizard is, I'm thinking the Wizards in my head. And it was even worse when he was the Wombats. He was the Wombats and he had like a logo of the Wombat with like a Wizard hat or something like that. And so I was just, it's the Wizards. That's funny.
Yeah, that's for the Backyard Basketball League.
Is there a Backyard Basketball League?
I don't know. I just made it.
Oh, yeah. No, that's pretty good.
Yeah, I don't think enough people really play that, competitively.
My only experience with backyard basketball was I remember being young, like elementary school-ish, and visiting my grandma, and she lived in a different state at the time. So it was like, I think it was like the first time I ever took a flight. I was like an unaccompanied minor, and so I was super excited about that, and like flew to where she lived, and then she took me to the library, and their library system out there was one that you could rent PC games at. I saw that they had these backyard games there. And so I got backyard basketball and backyard hockey. And it like blew my mind that they existed. I had no idea they existed as a kid because I just had the backyard baseball games. And I had a friend who had backyard football, but I didn't know that those other ones existed. So I played it over like one afternoon pretty much. But yeah, backyard sports games used to be in the public library system.
And I know Alex had a story similar to that as well for some of the games.
Yeah, it's fun to think back on some of that stuff. I always loved seeing the differences on how you could like do the create a custom in different games. They had like slightly different styles, and especially in basketball. But yeah, it was fun. I don't know if those games were like particularly fun. It was always baseball. That was the one I played.
I really enjoyed basketball and hockey, but baseball and football were the main ones for me.
Yep. I think they were pretty well made overall, at least in relation to the group as a whole. I think they're all pretty good games, but yeah, I think the baseball was just they really, obviously that's why we're still playing it years later.
Yeah, for sure. One thing I did want to mention, because you mentioned the Twins and Mike Madness. Mike Madness did some commentary last week for Match of the Week as well. Kind of on short notice, but I think he sounds like he did an amazing job in his commentary debut.
Yeah, he did a great job. And I love everyone who comes on Match of the Week and does commentary, because there's always a little bit of a different flavor to it. I kind of co-commentated with Pepsi in week 1, and like we talked the game, we did some play-by-play, but that was one where it was just kind of like talking about the league as a whole. And that's enjoyable too, I think, for the viewers. And then sometimes we get folks on like Mike Madness who really did hardcore play-by-play, and like he loved it. He says, like, I get the sense that he really follows and really appreciates good commentary. He was saying that he tries to emulate certain commentators out there, and I could hear it. I mean, he has some Hawk Harrelson in him, and I really enjoyed listening to how he commentated the game. And so yeah, I think he signed up for a few others. So I hope everyone else enjoyed it too, because we'll be getting more of it.
I was kind of on the road, so I was listening or watching it muted, so I couldn't hear the commentary. But I'm definitely gonna rewatch it when I have time to do that, to be able to hear the commentary of it.
Yeah, definitely, it's definitely worth it.
Yeah, well, let's get into some of the results from week 2. I'm gonna start with both of us are in both leagues, so might not go as in depth about each game. Whatever, since we're trying to go through both leagues instead of splitting it up, just because of time, it was a little bit more easier. Didn't have time to necessarily have 2 podcasts this week. So hopefully, if I do have time, I will be splitting it up. But this week I just kind of ran out of time.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, there's a lot of teams, a lot of games. Yeah, let's dig in.
I'm starting with 2001. First game, we had the Royals against the Blue Jays. That was at Dirt Yards. Visery putting up a +10 to the Blue Jays +4. Visery just continues to roll on.
Yeah, I was looking. I mean, I wonder what Visery thinks about this output after putting up 27 in the first game. So that could just be the difference between playing at home. I wonder, what is Visery's home field? Let me take a look. The Royals, Steel Stadium. And then going to Dirt Yards, that's a bit of a different experience. And so went from a +27 at home to a +10 on the road, but it was, more than enough. Blue Jays just weren't able to really, Oops wasn't really able to put up the runs there at his home park. 4 runs also in week 1 for Oops. So yeah, solid start for Visery, 2-0. The only 2-0 team left, the only undefeated team left in the AL East.
Looks like also the only undefeated team in the entire American League as well.
Oh, yeah. So it looks like the Marlins game hasn't been put on here, but that got played, right?
Yeah, the Marlins have played, I believe, actually currently as we're doing this, Withered Splash, someone that, Pepsi, one of friends with Pepsi is filling in for Martian Man in that one. So that might be able to get a live result.
Let's see. Oh, yeah. Are they streaming it right now? Oh, okay. Yeah, they're not streaming it right now, so we'll see.
So looks like they're having some technical difficulties.
Gotcha. Yeah, good start for Visery.
Might have a result with that one later on.
Yeah, I wonder what this. Pull up the tab that has like so this is the AL East. Visery's team, the Boston Royals, got Jane Davis with 2 homers. Okay, yeah, so let's see. Wow, Visery has Henry and Jane. Henry had a homer. Piazza had a homer. I'm assuming both of those were out of the park, although I guess Henry could have hit an inside the parker and on dirt yards. Everyone on Visery's team scored a run. Of the 10 runs, Henry scored 2, and every other player scored 1 run. That's like pretty efficient. Yeah.
Wow, that's really impressive for that low of a run total, but for everyone to score.
Everyone to score. I always like when I can see my box score and see that everyone got a hit, but that's like a whole other level to see everyone scored. Pretty cool.
One thing that I thought was kind of interesting is Oops' field choice with this Blue Jays team. I thought that, dirt yards seems like as a field that you would want a lot of speed on, and especially since they're all humongous tall players. Mm-hmm. They don't have as much speed as some of the other players do, or other teams do.
I know if you don't have a lot of speed on a place like dirt yards, then, you're hoping that your players have the coordination and the arms to make up for it. And I don't know. I mean, Tony's got a great arm. Obviously, Keisha's got a great arm. Lisa's got a decent arm, right?
I think it's average, maybe slightly above average.
Average, yeah. But, I mean, yeah, only scoring 4 runs. I mean, looking at this, 10 hits, 1 home run from Randy Johnson, and no triples on dirt yards at the home park. 2 or 3 doubles. I mean, yeah, he's just gonna have to get a little more production out there, which might be a little tough without the speed. And maybe Visery's defense was just pretty good there. I mean, having Henry out there, Chipper Jones, Jane Davis, pretty good for a place like dirt yards, I would say, to have that speed on defense. So probably just counteracted against Oops in this game.
Yeah, definitely. Well, to see if there's any trends for the other home games as far as the Blue Jays. But Visery wins that one. And then the next game is, coming from a team that had 2 veterans to a game that had 2 rookies. We got the Cardinals and Cello putting up a +12 going against Andrew Pays and the Evil Rays 12-6. Mm-hmm. Cello winning his first rBBL game.
Yeah. That was, so 1-1 for the Cardinals and 0-2 for he's doing the Evil Rays. I love it.
Yeah, yeah.
So these are 2 AL East teams. Let's see. So Evil Rays play at Cement, and Cello's home field is Ekman. So they played at Cement, and he got a +12. I mean, that's pretty solid. Looks like 2 homers from Nicky Winston, 5 doubles in the game, no stolen bases. I mean, Cello's got Derek Jeter, so that's a huge help. Derek Jeter, Sarah Maxwell, Veronica Lee. It's a lot of speed right there. Yeah, shout out to Cello. Nice win on the road.
Cello, I know Visery been helping him out, and they drafted what looks like to be a really, really good AI defense. So it will be interesting to see if anyone, if that's one of the top, top like 4 AI defenses in the American League at the end of the season.
Yeah, I mean, having Derek alone can make a bad defense still frustrating, but like this looks like a pretty tough team to play against no matter where you're at. So yeah, that's solid. +12 after going +1 in the week 1 game at home against the Giants. So that's a big improvement going from a +1 to a +12. So I'm sure that Cello's feeling pretty good about that. And the Devil Rays went +6 and +6. I mean, that's, consistent. And I mean, that's just a little bit of a hump to get over, is like getting to the point where you can feel good about putting up 10 runs. And I don't know, I mean, maybe the team is not, going to be able to do that a lot, but you never know. I mean, just once he starts getting on a roll and gets a feel for his team, could start putting up some more runs.
Yeah, 10 runs is kind of like if you can score 10 runs consistently, you're going to win a lot.
Yep.
Now going from a game that had, some more runs scored to very, very low scoring matchup between the the Astros and the Twins. Mike Madness pulling off the victory, a 3.6 to a 3, tiebreaker game.
Oh, against Freak Show. Yeah. Yeah. Winning on a tiebreaker, both 3-0 games. Solid. Probably not one that either of them expected to win once they finished it. But I mean, let's take a look at their teams real quick. So they're both. So the Astros are now 1-1, and the Twins are also 1-1. They're in the West, AL West. Just pulling up their stats here. Freak Show. Oh, looks like Freak Show stats are not in yet. Twins. Oh yeah, their individual stats are not in yet. But I mean, that's pretty solid. Kenny Lofton, Francis Brewer, Hellerman. Oh, that makes sense. He's got Hellerman. It's hard to score a lot of runs off of Hellerman.
Yeah, I was watching that game because the Astros put up 25 at TCA in week 1.
Oh yeah.
So I was expecting the Astros to still be able to put up, like a solid 8 to 12 runs, especially at Park, since they have Walker and Faye Dawson. They have some, people that are players that can hit home runs there. So that's what I was expecting.
Yeah.
Kind of happen at this, so that, because home runs, doesn't matter what field or what pitcher you're at or defense you're at necessarily. Hellcat Hellerman held them down.
Yeah, and that porch at Parks is like pretty short. Yeah, winning on a tiebreaker there, that's pretty solid to get to 1-1 there. It would have been 2-0, but yeah, they'll work out those kinks, get more consistent. Yeah, after that, you said plus 25 for the Astros at TCA in the first game.
Yep, plus 25.
Oh yeah. Oh, against Oops' team. That's right. Yeah. Well, just have to turn around, score some more runs next week. Looks like they've got Viscery's team, the Mets, Philadelphia Mets next week. So see if they can score some more runs. But it always feels a little nice to win off the hook there on the tiebreaker.
Yeah, for sure. The next game has not been finalized right now. It's the Pirates and the Giants. The Giants should be playing a little bit later, as the day that we're recording this.
Mm-hmm.
But whoever wins that game will go into a tie with the Royals for first place in the AL East. Both teams are 1-0 right now.
Mm-hmm.
And there's been some trash talk because the humongous Giants are not humongous at all. The Pirates actually have a bigger height at an average than the Giants do.
Oh my gosh, yeah. So I'm confused here. I just said that they're playing the Mets, but they're not playing the Mets.
They're playing the Mets. The Mets are going to be Wizard.
Oh, there's some interleague. Okay.
Yeah, the Mets are Wizard.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I'm confused. I'm thinking about Visery's Mets, and I was like, wait, how could Wizard be the Mets? He just played Visery, who is the Mets. Okay, all right. Figure it out.
Yeah, that's the other thing that's confusing is like the people that have two different names.
Yeah.
I was thinking about doing that, and then I was like, I think I didn't want to confuse myself.
That's where I was. I was thinking, I was like, oh, if I ever wanted to, I want to be the Seattle Fishes, but I could let someone else be the Fishes for one of these leagues, and then I was like, nah, I'm just gonna be the Fishes.
Yeah, I was like, I was trying to think of something. I couldn't think of anything clever.
Yeah. So Pirates and Giants, some trash talk going on there. Who are the Pirates again? That's
Question Monkey.
That's Question Monkey. That's right. Yeah, Montreal Pirates, Humongous Giants, Titanium. Well, yeah, we'll see. Expos Marlins. That's oh right, yeah, that's the one that's going on right now. Okay, hypothetically, if they get through the tech issues.
Yeah, they're dealing with some tech issues. Expos are trying to get their game underway.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, but that one has not been done either. And then we have the Battle of Milwaukee, Battle of S1 coaches, Slim versus Crazy Eights. Slim taking this one.
Oh, 12-8.
Well, Slim is at Sandy, so probably built a decent defense for that.
So Crazy put up a +16 against the Royals on the road, and then only put up a +8. How is Schlimm's defense? It must be pretty good. Oh yeah, yep. Pull it up. Where are they in? They're in the NL.
The Mariners are in the NL West, and the Rockies are in the AL West.
Yeah. Okay. The Mariners stands. Yeah. Jessica. The Rockies are AL West, I see. Okay. Yeah, so Jessica, Emily, Jeff, Maya, Christina. Yeah, solid game for Schlim there.
Fred Benson is leading the league currently in homers and RBIs.
Yeah, 2 homers in this game and 3 homers in the first game. So, I mean, yeah, Fred Benson on a tear. Wasn't enough, though, for the Milwaukee Rockies. That was at Parks Department. So, it must be nice when you build a team that's like really good at Sandy, and then you just go play anywhere on the road, and it like they're just faster everywhere else, which is nice. But yeah, looking at this, I mean, Schlim stats are not in. But I wonder if he ran into some human pitching errors here. I'm seeing like Betty was in for only 18 of the batters, and then he put in Maria. Oh, I mean, what? It was a +8. Did he give up AI runs? Did he run into some errors there?
I think he might have gave up. I think it was 9-2.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's his final score. So yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah.
The only reason I remember that is because he made a post because JY also was 9-2, and he made it like the handshake.
Oh, nice.
Made like the joke about both losing 9-2.
Yep.
Or scoring 9-2 and losing.
Yep, that's good. Yeah, I mean, Crazy will probably score more runs in other games. He just couldn't figure it out in this one, and Schlim's got a good team. Getting a +12 on the road, too, for Schlim, that's got to make him feel good about playing away from Sandy. Yeah, who do they got next week?
Crazy plays the Expos.
Oh, yeah, and Schlim plays the Angels.
Crazy will get some wins. I'm not too worried about them. They'll bounce back.
Nah. 0-2 start. I wonder if Crazy's gotten... Like, I wonder if Crazy started 0-2 in the past. I'm sure, I mean, it's probably happened. But not what you expect, necessarily, given his history. But Schlim's a good player. Vizuri's a good player.
Kind of a rough schedule to begin the season.
Yeah.
They'll get some wins, and they'll get back in the playoff hunt, for sure.
Yeah.
Then we got the Padres.
Padres Monsters. So this is 2001, so the Padres are... they are Benjaminian, that's right. So Uriah put up some runs here, +16. This is Uriah, right? Okay, yeah. Uriah.
Yes, this is Uriah.
+16 at home against the Padres. I'm sure Benjaminian's going to be excited to get back to, start playing some games on his home field after facing me in week 1 at Dirt Yards. And then Uriah, who plays at, pull this up.
Playground Commons.
Playground, yeah. Yeah, not awful scores, like a +6 and then a +7 for the Padres. I mean, it should, in theory, get some wins, but just... I do remember there's some defensive things that with Benjaminian's team here, where, I mean, once you get past the +5 threshold and some subs start coming in, it made it a little easier to score. So that, I mean, he's just going to have to put up some more runs probably, and to be able to get some wins here. But, I mean, Uri is a great player, and, getting a +16 is not surprising at all. What was the first game? +5.
Yeah, when you have Jay Green, Brenda Green, Wally Green, Tony Green.
Oh, yeah, this is the Green team. That's right.
Sean Green.
Yeah.
Yeah, really, really solid. A team definitely can score a lot of runs with that team. Bobby Bull Green, Barrett Greenwald.
Yeah, Jay Green had 2 more homers, and Bobby Bull Green had 2 homers. That can't be right. That must be round 9. He must have gotten some AP or something. Bobby Bull Green does not have a power bat, right?
Yeah, he does.
Oh, he does? Okay.
I think it's, I don't know if you know the number, but I think it's above 80.
Okay. All right. Yeah. 10 stolen bases, which I think is similar to what I was able to do once his substitute catcher came in.
I think Kenny goes to catcher, right? Or Kenny, yeah.
Yeah, that's what happens. It makes it a little easier to steal. So 10 stolen bases for Uriah after he didn't steal any bases in his first game. Yeah, I think Benjaminian is a good player. He's just gonna have to score some more runs because people are probably gonna be able to put up some runs against him with Kenny going to catcher after +5. So not totally surprising. I don't usually do the predictor challenge, but I probably would have picked the Monsters here. He's got a good team.
Yeah, I know when I was talking to Benjamin on Discord, and he was telling me that he wasn't or people when he was asking people about like for draft advice or whatever. I don't know who was talking, but they didn't really bring up like how important like the relief points were.
Oh, yeah.
So I was telling him, well, I don't know, who told you that, but that's sorry to hear that he got some bad advice.
Hopefully it wasn't for me. I don't think he asked me anything.
Yeah, so but yeah, that can really make or break your AI defense as far as how that goes.
Yeah, it totally can. It like I try to like make sure that I don't totally screw my team over when drafting, and so far I think I've been okay to not do that, but like it is very stressful trying to avoid that sometimes in the middle of the draft. But yeah, I mean, he's got two teams, so this one he might be giving up more runs in. This AI might be giving up more runs in, but if he can string together some offense, he'll get some wins. He's a good player.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely think he'll get some more wins moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
But we have all to see how the rest of the season goes for that. Next time we had I think they were calling it the Christmas battle, because you had the polar bears and the green reds.
Polar bears and the green reds. Wait, I'm lost on the sheet.
Because it's Cubs Reds, but the Cubs are the white Cubs, so they're polar bears.
Oh, yeah. Oh, nice. I love it. Cubs. Okay, so that would be
That was Matitude.
and the green reds
Personizzle.
Yeah, nice. Plus 14.
Both coaches are at Steele.
Mm-hmm.
I heard that Ernie Steele hit a pool shot in this one.
Oh my gosh.
And Ernie Steele is Matt's favorite backyard player, so
That's awesome.
So it's really fun when you get draft like one of your favorite players and they do really well. It's always a really satisfying feeling.
This is just a really fun looking team. Like Griffey, Ahmed Khan, Vlad, Jason Kendall, Amir Khan, and Ernie Steele, Jomar, like Giambi and Angela. Like that's just a really fun looking squad to play with. Yeah, I don't see the stats for week 2 yet, but I like this team just for the makeup.
I'm curious how that team would do like as like a online team. That'd be a fun one to have for online as well.
Yeah, I just like looking at it. I think we could break down the stats, however, but I kind of wanted to try to get Ahmed Khan this year. I don't think I was even close, but it's just fun to play with him, I think, and having both the Khans together, that's fun. And then Ernie Steele at Steele Stadium. This is a well-drafted team, and for him, I think he lost the first game, right?
Yeah, I think the first game he lost, to Wizard.
To the Mets. Wizard Mets, yeah. +2, so that's a huge improvement going from +2 to +14. So, yeah, nice win.
Yeah, and I just realized that I skipped over both of our games. I just went straight to
Oh, yeah, I noticed that. I figured that that might have been intentional.
Oh, no, that was not intentional. I don't know why I did that.
Well, we can talk about those afterwards. And I mean, maybe let's look at Angels Bombers real quick. What's Angels is Bobby Jones.
That one just finished up today.
4-2.
Both coaches kind of on the struggle bus as far as scoring runs, but the Angels AI defense, just held up enough and, was able to squeak out a win.
Yeah.
Angels are now 2-0 on the season, so it's not the score that you might want, but it's still 2 wins, and you can't really complain much with a win.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, won 7.2 to 7 in week 1, and then 4-2. I mean, must have a pretty good defense there for the Angels. Pull up the roster here. Oh yeah, I forgot. I can just look at team previews. Oh, this is great. Where are they? Oh yeah, the Blue Angels. Dante, Marty, Davey, Leah, Mark McGuire. Looks like a fun team to play with. Nice start for the Angels, and then they'll play the Mariners next week. Oh, a rematch. Mariners Angels, yeah.
Yeah, they've already played in week 1, going to Sandy next week too, so that will be interesting to see.
I think this is happening for me in 2003. I played the Angels week 1 and lost, and then I played them again next week. Yeah. Which is kind of fun. I don't think that the scheduling worked out that way in the past, but sometimes it's kind of, I think, interesting to have two divisional opponents in 3 weeks, or like the same one in 3 weeks. So I'm for it.
Yeah, and one thing that I've I was just looking at kind of like the records or whatever, and this is Bobby's 10th career rBBL victory.
Oh, that's great. Congrats to Bobby.
So that's a a nice milestone.
Yeah.
It's his second/third season that he's part of, but he's gone 4-0 so far.
Yeah, that's great.
On both, so he's going 10 career victory. Off to a solid start.
Yep. Yeah, and so 2-0 in this one, could, if he can get another win like he did in week 1, and 3-0 start, win number 11, well on his way to possibly doubling his career winnings very quickly. So solid start. Nice work.
Yeah. Now let's go back to
Oh yeah.
to our games.
Yeah.
I know you played your game yesterday against the Red Sox. That was on stream. So any thoughts you have about how your game went?
Yeah, I mean, playing with this team on dirt yards it's cracked in a way, and I'm having fun with it. It's the kind of experience that could maybe get a little grindy if I wanted to, but I don't really have the patience for it. But it's just, man, playing with Pete, he's such a beast, and I don't think I've played with a player as good as him in a season, and so I'm really enjoying it, the experience so far. I think he had 2 more homers in last night's game. I'm trying to pull it up. Oh yeah, I sent it to Crazy. Yeah, so Stuart. So actually, everyone had a hit except for Fernando, and by everyone had a hit, everyone had at least 2 hits except for Fernando, who had 0. Pete had another 4-for-4 game, 2 homers, 5 RBIs. I didn't really steal very much. 2 steals. I had 1 with Stuart, 1 with Pete. But yeah, I mean, it can get ugly at dirt yards. When this is the first time I've been playing, I kind of wanted to pick somewhere like dirt yards or sandy just to kind of have that like potentially incredibly frustrating season. But then I was able to draft these 3 100s, and it kind of just works out perfectly at dirt yards. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see how I play away from dirt yards, because the team isn't as talented away from dirt yards, I'd say. But play the Bombers next week, who I guess they play at let me see.
They play at Ekman.
Yeah, Ekman. Yeah. I mean, I think the speed's still going to win, and it really will just come down to how quickly I can like start shuffling that AI defense around, because I was able to do it pretty quickly in both of these games at dirt yards, and it just kind of goes downhill for the AI in that kind of situation.
Yeah, speed is really, really important, especially if you have a lot of it like you do with the 3 100 speeds.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was pretty nervous.
And that, catapulted you to your, plus 17. And I think you could have got more if you would have, went more grindy, like you said.
Yeah, I definitely, it was kind of late last night when I was playing it, and I had been out, and so I was like, man, there probably will be games where I score more like I did last week in, 28, but it also, we'll see how I play away from dirt yards. But yeah, I don't love grinding out grounders and all of that, just because it makes me feel a little icky, a little sweaty. I mean, it certainly works at that yard. I mean, this team, even though it's it could be super grindy, the team is, it's pretty good. They hit the ball hard, and going back to back between playing with my 2003 team and playing with this team, it just feels so different. Just way better at hitting, way more reliable overall, top to bottom. I'm excited about this team.
Yeah, I think this might be the team that Team Fish could win the championship with.
Yeah, and we'll see. I'm finally to the point where I'm not psyching myself up out by getting nervous and stuff. And I was pretty nervous about doing live streams, because in the past, whenever I did live streams, I would get really nervous and just play awful. But I kind of enjoy it. I think because everyone's doing it. I'm just okay, it's the rule now and all that, and we're doing the live streams. I kind of like just talking through what I'm doing as I'm doing it, and I like feel way more comfortable than I thought I was going to feel because I used to get so nervous. But if I do keep getting wins and end up in a position where I'm like in the playoffs, I'm gonna be so nervous on stream. Because this is the kind of team where like I sometimes have a tendency to start slow, and if that starts happening, like if I can't chase the starting pitcher, +4 or +5, especially away from dirt yards, totally within the cards. So we'll see.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how Team Fish does, and I think you'll do pretty well, especially if your home games, for sure.
Yeah, I'm excited to get some runs. I've never had this kind of offensive efficiency with a team or like offensive potential. So hopefully I can bring some wins to Team Fish. Let's talk about your game.
Yeah.
Mets Braves. Okay. Short, unfortunate 8-7 loss.
This was a simul stream.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So I was on the struggle bus. The Mets have a pretty solid defense.
Mm-hmm.
All I was able to muster was 3 homers, 3 2-run shots, 2 for Gore and 1 for Rachel.
Nice.
So I mean, my power swing was kind of there, but I just couldn't get anything else going. I couldn't get any runners on base, couldn't get any rallies going, and then I was actually up until it was the top of the 6th inning, and then Sosa hits a 3-run homer to, in a sense, walk it off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's what happened there. I mean, I'm happy that Gore hit 2 more home runs. I've been wanting to have either Griffey or Gore for a while now, and I finally am able to have that. So I'm really excited to see how. And I got 4 home runs already for 2 games, so that's that's on pace for a really solid season as far as home runs. The most I've ever hit in a season is 21.
Okay.
That's my goal is to try to improve my personal record for somebody.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
20. I want to hit 25. That's my goal for this season. I want to hit 25
with an individual
player. Yes, with an individual player. I want to hit 25.
I think you can get there. I think for sure. Yeah. I mean, what's your home park again?
Steel.
Oh yeah, you could definitely get there, I think. But if you keep swinging, but I guess don't try too hard at the expense of your output, right? Swinging for the fences every time, but I think you can do it. If your power swing's there, that'd be a lot of fun. I haven't even thought about my yards.
I think the main issue with my team is I have a lot of because I have the Jeter clone too. So it's my really only 2 power hitters are Gore and Rachel. So I don't really have as much power as I would like for a Steel team.
Yeah. You said Susan Gore.
Yeah.
What is her swing like? What's her power like? 'Cause when I had her, I kind of I did line drive and ground her a lot just because she has that speed.
I think it's it's pretty up there.
Nice.
I don't actually remember what the exact number is, but I think that the real test is going to be, can I get Shane and Marilyn and Liz and Ramona on base? Can they get on base for the home runs? That's going to be the key. And can I sustain rallies and get to that 10 to 15 run range, which I should be capable of getting with this roster.
Yeah,
but only 8 runs given up, and then a +4 in the previous week. So that's really good for the AI defense.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Definitely winnable games. But Wizard is a really great veteran coach. So not too upset about losing to a player of that caliber.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sad I missed the simul stream. Wizard's a good player. His team's pretty good. Your team's also pretty good. So it'll be fun to see what happens there.
Yeah, and that does it for the 01 season. I know it does look like that Wizard Splashed has gotten his stream underway. I don't exactly know what inning they're in, but we'll see if they submit it for the next couple minutes or so.
Okay. Yeah, that'll be nice.
You're 2-0. You and Yura are head of the division after 2 weeks, so you're sitting in a really good position. 1-1, not the best record, but definitely within a shot of a playoff berth.
It's still early. Looks like you've got the Padres next week. for Benjaminian's first game at home. But that's like we were talking about his team earlier. Catcher kind of early. Maybe you can put up some runs, get to 2-1. But I know Benjaminian's hunting that first win as well. So that could be a pretty good one. It looks like I've got the Bombers next week. Still some undefeated teams: Angels, Mets, Fishes, and Monsters in the NL. But yeah,
I definitely think that you'll end up winning your game against the Bombers. I know there's some really good matchups as well. It really depends on how many runs the Padres are going to score, because I do have the speed to be able to steal some bases once I get Kenny on if I get to the 5 runs. So it's really just going to depend on how much can I steal. And
yeah,
Playground's a good field for hitting homers, so
that's true.
Gore and Susan and Rachel will like that as well.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I'm looking at the Reds, Monsters. Looks like it could be kind of interesting. Cubs, Red Sox. You got the Angels, Mariners. We'll probably have Blue Jays, Twins on Match of the Week. Yeah, some good looking games coming up. Giants and Royals should be interesting.
A lot of interesting games. I think we'll start to learn. The first 2, once you get to week 3 and week 4, you kind of get a feel of where the teams kind of are all gonna rank up. I mean, certain people might surprise come out of nowhere with solid second half, like you got famously nicknamed Second Half Chris.
Oh yeah. I mean, and they're always rookies who come in and just start hot and end hot and make the playoffs and everything too. So and we have so many of them, it's bound to happen. So
I don't see a world in which no rookies make the playoffs. That would be pretty much impossible between the 2 leagues.
yeah, I agree.
Yeah, but that's the state of the 2001 season. Let's move on to the 2003 season.
All right.
The Orioles and the Astros. That is Bobby as well. Silver Bullet putting up a +2. Glad to see that he's consistently beating the AI now. I know he was struggling, when he first joined the league. Part of that was the scum that he was playing on, or the version of that. But Bobby putting up a +12 after putting up a +11. Really solid team. They got Jorge, they got Pink Maria, they got the Jimmy Rollins clone, and Porter. So they have a really good AI defense. I think that's gonna pull them to some solid wins and a good solid season. Probably 8-6, 9-5 range, possibly.
Yeah, I mean, the Texas Astros so far, their opponents have only scored 2 runs or +2. So, I mean, that bodes well for at least the way that the Astros AI defense looks. 2-0 start, just really solid. And then they play the Indians next week, who are coached by Korn. And so, great start for the Astros. Nice, consistent. Like we were saying, if you could score 10 runs, you're going to win a lot of games. So, yeah, I mean, I think 8-6 is definitely in the cards and maybe even better.
Yeah, I would like to see, you always like to see new people make the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
And that would be he didn't make the playoffs last season, so that'll be, his first playoff appearance, which would be really cool to see.
Yeah, I agree.
The next game, Visery beat Crazy yet again. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Visery just has put up a +20 to Crazy's +14. I don't know. Visery just has Crazy's number, I guess, this season.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much anyone expected +20 after Visery put up 5.6 in the match of the week for week 1 against the Wizard Rangers. But yeah, I mean, +20, that's just what an output against Crazy's team. Sometimes 20 isn't enough to beat Crazy Eights, but it was enough in this one, which puts, oh my gosh, Crazy's 0-2 in this league too. Wow.
I don't think I've ever seen Crazy be 0-4.
No. Yeah, I mean, Crazy only put up a +2.
So that's a kind of surprise to see that.
Yeah, I mean, he'll figure it out, I'm sure. I mean, +14, he has to feel good about that against Visery's team. And I mean, after only putting up a +2 against Marco, it is Marco, right? The Wombats.
Yes, Marco is the Wombats.
Yeah, he'll he plays Oops's Melonheads next week. So I mean, it's not gonna get easier for Crazy, but I mean, you got to think that first one is coming. But yeah, what a nice game there for the Mets, for the Visory Mets.
Yeah, and hopefully this doesn't get too confusing for you for the rest of the season.
Right. Yeah, I'm like not even thinking about the adjectives. I'm like, okay, so these are the Wizard Mets, and then we have the Visory Mets. We have the Wizard Rangers.
Yeah. That's a good way of how you gotta keep that in check.
Yep.
The Royals and the Indians have not been finalized yet. The Indians have not played yet, so hopefully that result will get in today. So let's skip over that one for now. And now then the Wizard Rangers played the Oops Melonheads.
Yeah, nice win for the Rangers after losing that tight one against Visory on Match of the Week, putting up plus 13 against Oops's team. Pretty solid. I mean, where does Wizard play?
TCA.
Okay, yeah, nice. Plus 13. And Oops only getting plus 7 at TCA. Oops likes TCA, right? Or does Oops hate TCA?
No, Oops loves TCA.
Yeah, that's right. And yeah, probably feels like he left some out there, only getting plus 7. But especially after getting a plus 19 against the Padres. Yeah, nice win for Wizard. I mean, this is a pretty good start for Wizard, right? Is he 2-0 in 2001? And then
and then 1-1 in this.
Yeah.
And I think I predicted Wizard to make the World Series in 03.
Yeah, it's a good team, and I mean,
Double Cliff.
Yep, Double Cliff, that's right. Plays the Orioles next week, who's coached by Silver Bullet. So I mean, potential for a win there, and see what happens. But yeah, I mean, Wizard, the Green Power Ranger Wizard are pretty good this year, I'd say. Solid win getting that.
Go Power Rangers, right?
Yep. Oh yeah, now we have this week's match of the week. It was a good one. The brother battle, Padres Cubs. I can't remember which one's which.
The Cubs are Benjaminian and the Padres are Manitude.
That's right. That's right. So the Padres dropped to 0-2, and the Cubs are 2-0 now, I think. Yeah, they won. Oh, right, because Korn put up a minus 21 in the first game, if I'm seeing that correctly. But yeah, 8-6. It was a pretty good game. Padres pretty much lost because they gave up like 4 AI runs. That was the difference. They were on 3 crazy bunts. It was just very unfortunate that the AI was able to hit 3 crazy bunts. Although, if I remember correctly, I think that the AI Cubs scored 2 runs on just a really unfortunate set of throws, and then it ended up like just allowing the AI to score 2 runs. But yeah, I mean, Padres we'll figure it out, I'm sure. But yeah, I mean, 2-0 start for the Cubs. Gotta feel good.
Yeah, brother battles are always tight. Just like if you just like anything else.
Yes. Yep. Are they in the same? Okay, so they are in the same. They'll play again later this season. Yeah.
You'll see how the rematch turns out. I don't know exactly what week that it's going to be on, but looking forward to that whenever week that is.
Yeah, they play week 12. It looks like so towards the end of the season. So you never know. See how their seasons go. It could have implications.
Yeah. That would be something. Could you imagine if they both made the playoffs and like their first round of the playoffs they play each other or something?
Play each other. Oh yeah, that would be entertaining. I mean, hopefully by then I would know which one's which in this league, but yeah, it would still be entertaining nonetheless.
Hopefully we all will figure that out by the end of the season. It's week 13 and you still don't know?
Yeah, and they shouldn't be surprised. They're laughing their butts off over there at how much you're confusing us.
Yeah, they got all of us good for sure. Yeah, and then we got your game, your 3 game. No, it wasn't the kind of the result that you want, but put up a +5, and Pepsi put up a +20. Another really solid game for them.
Yeah, I mean, Pepsi's team is good. He's a good player. And I think there was a point when I realized I just wasn't probably going to be in his wheelhouse. I think I was like saying it on the stream. I think I guessed that he was going to have like a plus 18, and then he ended up with a plus 20. I mean, this team it's a different experience for me. Not different. It's different than the 2001 for sure. I mean, it's like there's nothing like awful about my team. Like I don't think I have any players that are like exceptionally slow or exceptionally bad really at anything. It's just like the lack of, so far I just haven't found a comfort level with like certain players that are going to be like ringers, you know. They're all like very similarly like decent at a lot of things, but I've got Marcellus, who's a 95. Like, he's my best power hitter, but I feel like he pops it up a lot. I mean, having Clanky on the mound is nice, but it's obviously not good enough to prevent teams from scoring 20. Yeah, I mean, this was just a result of like, I'm still trying to figure out this team. I also put up +5 in my first game against the Angels, and I play the Angels again next week, and it's my first home game at Parks Department. So maybe I should, hopefully I can start scoring more than 5, but this does feel a lot more like some of my previous season teams where it's going to take me some time to kind of figure it out with them.
Just setting up for the traditional second half, Chris.
Second half, Chris. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, that would be something if like there was a scenario where I made it farther with my 03 team than my 01 team.
That would be definitely interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know. You know, I wouldn't put my money on it, but it would be something.
Yeah.
And then Toast, you know, putting up, you know, a solid 11-9 victory over Ricky Little Waz.
2-0 for Toast's Twins here after winning 2-1 last week. So he's tied at the top of the BL East with you right now. And so, yeah, I mean, he's got to feel pretty good. Getting that road win, getting a +11 on the road against the Red Sox, I mean, that's got to feel good for him. What's his team look like? Curious. BL East. That is I'm going to play him twice, so I should figure it out. Plays at TCA. He's got Susan. He's got Xena. He's got the Webbers. Yeah, looks like a fun team to play with. Nancy Chin at pitcher.
Solid Toast team like he always seems to have.
Yep. And a good start, 2-0. And then he faces the Expos next week, who have started out 0-2. So, I mean, it could continue to go well for him. We'll see. Yeah,
and you know, this division that we're in is just crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, me, you, Toast, JY, Shrews, and Alex.
Right,
that's
JY's
just like, it's
right,
just like every single like matchup is like, like just like a tough, like anything could happen. It's just like,
Yep.
You have to be on your A game every single week if you know in this division. Otherwise, you're gonna get ran out of the building.
Yeah, I think I just discovered this week too that like when I play JY, like we usually do our drinking game, the Fishbowl, and we play each other 2 weeks in a row. So we'll probably just play the games back to back on one night.
Oh, that's gonna be really, really something.
Yeah. And it's like late in the season too, so I mean we're both 0-2, so who knows if either of us will be pushing for the playoffs at all. I mean, I guess maybe there's a chance, but you know, we've dug a hole, but
yeah, it looks like it's in week 10 and 11.
Yeah, it's like late enough where like if there are playoff implications, it'll be fun.
Well, especially if are you gonna you probably don't know yet. Are you gonna change the rules because you'll be doing double the games?
I don't know. We'll have to figure that out. I mean, yeah, we'll have to get it scheduled and all that. And then yeah, maybe we'll change the rules a little bit. But all I know is that I've yet to win a Fishbowl, except for like if we're counting online, like the last season when we played the Fishbowl, he beat me again. And then we just continued the stream and played each other in online. And that's when I hit the fireball walk-off homer off of him.
Yeah, that is a legendary clip.
Yeah, it's got to be like my best moment ever.
Yeah, I love that clip. I wish that we need to make that clip go viral because that was just so hilarious in the moment. Every time I watch it, it's just as good as it happening live.
Yeah. It is, yeah, pretty proud of that one. Hopefully, have some similar drama when we play each other. Yeah, this is a fun division.
It was like, oh, this was fun. GG.
If you would have said
And then
nothing,
Big
then
Play Ray just said like, no, not so fast.
Ray Tran.
I just thought it was funny that it just like made it infinitely better that it was Ray Tran that hit the home run.
Yeah, and I have Ray on this team. Ray. Oh wait, no, I don't. I have Ray on my 2001 team. But still, I mean, I probably would not have wanted Ray Tran if it wasn't for that moment. I mean, he's a great player. I love Ray Tran. But yeah, that moment, it's awesome. And Ray's a Fish for life now. So Big Play Ray.
Big Play Ray.
Where were we? Oh yeah, now we're on the Marlins, White Sox. Yeah, Marlins, White Sox.
White Sox and Marlins is the next one. I know Mello, just submitted that. I did not actually get this. I did not watch the replay, so I do not know much. I know Mello said that he kind of didn't, do all his traditional practice games or whatever because of some IRL circumstances, but still put up a +5. Marlins and Person is still putting up a +7, being able to win that and get their first
Yeah, that's great. Congrats to Person.
rBBL win for at least for the 03 league. Good solid player, and hopefully we'll see more of that moving forward.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, congrats to Person Izzle, and that's really exciting to get that first win, especially against Mello, who's a really good player. Yeah, and White Sox is a new. I feel like we haven't had a White Sox coach in a while, have we?
I don't think so. I think that is a newer team.
Yeah, nice. Yeah. Well, Marlins 1-1 and play the Pirates next week. Guess it should be a good game.
That should be a really good game.
Oh yeah, your game.
Yeah, the next one is me versus JY. This was actually a really, really solid game for me for the first 4 innings. And then all my runs I scored in the first 4 innings, they were on like their 4th pitcher. And I think Liz came in from left field. So like their AI defense is all messed up. And then I just could not do anything. I don't know if I was having a good solid strategy as like, getting the grounders and getting the right bounces and then hitting home runs with Cheryl. Cheryl hit 3 home runs in this game again for the 2nd straight game.
Wow. Yeah. I mean.
And then it was just like nothing. So I don't know if I just like mentally like zoned out after like I hit the wall and I just like couldn't continue or whatever, but it was just like it was going so well and then like nothing.
Sometimes that's just like they're like weird 2nd or 3rd like defensive AI setups that almost seem more difficult than they were before, and I don't know why that happens, but also it could just be a mental thing. Cheryl's at 6 homers already. I mean, that's awesome. Oh yeah, and you've got Veely, you've got Debbie. Where was this game at? What's his
This was at Dirt Yards.
Yeah, okay. Oh wait, so we're gonna have. I'm just thinking about the fishbowl with JY. Gonna have a Dirt Yards game for one of them. That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, great win for you. That puts you're at 2-0 after having a +12 against the Tigers. I mean, your team looks really solid here in this one. Play the Royals next week, which is Visery, right? No, Arco.
Oh, Arco, yeah, Arco, yeah. That should be a really good game.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, I've never played Arco, so this will be the first time.
Yeah.
Since we were in separate leagues last season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Arco. How did Arco do? Oh, that game hasn't come in yet.
I mean, my guess is that Arco is going to win that game just based on the Indian result, but you never. I've seen crazier things happen.
Yeah, great win for you.
I don't think that Cheryl's going to be able to hit 3 home runs every game, but.
Well, currently leading the league so Cheryl's got 1,000 batting average. Or is that true? Oh, I guess this hasn't been updated.
That's not true. I know Cheryl got out.
Okay. 6 homers, though. Really solid.
I don't exactly remember how many RBIs, but I think what's crazy is that I think like Tina still has 1,000 batting average. And like out of all the players like on my team that like could possibly have that, it's like, really? It's Tina?
Right. That's really funny.
She's probably like my worst hitter on the entire team, but just...
Yeah. Well, she's got like decent speed and decent stamina, right? I remember I had her in my season 6 Mariners team, and I remember she was like fairly reliable at getting on base. So
She gets on base. That's
yeah,
her job. Just
yeah.
hit those grounders and get on base.
Oh yeah, I'm looking. So Cheryl went 3 for 6, so not at 1,000 anymore. But also had her first strikeout of the year. So it's going downhill. You got to figure it out, Cheryl.
Well, the thing is, like, there's like Cheryl. She could have had like 5 home runs and like had like 12 to 15 RBIs or something.
Yeah,
So like I could have hit 5 home. That was just
yeah.
whatever. But that's enough about now. JY. I was watching that. Chalk it up to the spritzer.
Oh, that's right. That's right. That's funny.
Cheryl actually was my second AI pitcher. I was like, oh no.
That's right. Yeah, I was watching the end of that one last night.
I was like, oh no, this is terrible. I'm gonna lose. But Cheryl did amazing on the mound. For I don't know how that was like. I think Cheryl was like my like 5th or 6th like on the RP rating.
Mm-hmm.
So like, how did that even?
Yeah, that's funny.
But yeah.
Must have just been the stamina, like of the other players.
Yeah, it must have been the stamina. I think it goes Tim, and then it goes to Ray, and then it goes to Tina and Jordan, and then I think it goes to Debbie, and then I think it goes to Cheryl after that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was like this was not supposed to happen, but it turned out to be okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, great start for your season. Play the Royals, and then when do we play? We play. Oh, looks like we play in week 4 at Scrapco, and then our second game looks to be at week 12 at Parks. So it'll spread out.
Oh, okay, so those should be fun.
Yeah, it'll be fun. So next up, we got the Wombats. Marco got a win over the Tigers. Tigers are Jibbo.
The mighty Ivan Kings
Could not beat the Wombats AI. So Crazy could only score 2 runs against the Wombats, and Jibbo couldn't even beat the Wombats. Wombats 2-0, solid team. What's that defense look like? I mean, it must be good.
Is this the season that Marco finally makes the playoffs?
I mean, great start.
Doesn't have to joke about being 14-0 and not making the playoffs anymore.
I mean, looking at Cement Gardens with Keisha, Brenda, Chipper, Ezra, Tanya, Yvonne, Holly, Vic, and Terry. I mean, at least in the upper half, I'm not totally sure what the arms are like, but that's like a pretty strong 4 right there. And then, I mean, it's not like, 12 runs in the first game, 9 runs in the second. It's not like they can't score against you. That's all you really need. Scoring 9 runs, 10 runs, like, he could win a lot of games if that's how it goes. So, gets the Red Sox next week.
That should be a good game.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe Marco can, Marco's 2-0, so, and he doesn't have to joke about it.
Yeah.
2-0 legit.
2-0 legit, yeah. He seems destined that this will be the...
Be cool to see our Australian friend make the playoffs. Offer of the yarn.
Yeah. After all the work he puts in during the draft, to be up at whatever crazy hours he has to be up to draft. It'd be nice to see him pull through, make the playoffs, win some games there. But yeah, great start for Marco. He's the only undefeated team left in the BL West. Plays the Red Sox. And then, good start. Congrats, Marco.
Yeah. Captain of Dad. Offer of the yarn.
Yep. Oh, the yarn is my favorite.
Yeah. We want to see more yarn articles, Marco. So if you're listening, we want more yarn articles.
Yes, please.
More yarn, please. The last game for the 0-3, we got Shrewsbury putting up a +10 to the Angels +3. And this was the Jerry Himshell game against the as far as like the AI. Jerry just shut down the Angels pitching wise.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean the Angels
could not get much going. And then I think Jerry might have hit like 1 or 2 homers on True's side as well. So
man,
Jerry is him.
Jerry is him. Yeah, Angels scored +12 against me in the first game, which, I mean, yeah, not my team. Again, we've talked about my team, and it's not like it's an amazing team or anything, but yeah, to only put up +3. That feels like what it's like every time I play Shrews. I don't even know. I don't think it matters who Shrews has. I just like it's hard to score against Shrews. It always feels that way. At least whenever I play him. So I just assume that he has Jeter or someone, or like Jeter dressed up as someone else, like always. Yeah, that's a good win for Shrews. Shrews is 1-1. Nice bounce back after only putting up +1 against the Red Sox in week 1, and then plays the Marlins next week.
Yeah, it seems like Shrews always has like a really solid defense.
Yeah.
And it's hard to score runs against him.
Yep, I agree. I don't look forward to facing these Tampa Bay Pirates.
But yeah, another matchup in the division of death.
Yeah, I like talking with you about this division. I'm like really excited because all of the matchups seem like fun and very stressful. So
And all the matchups are fun, and most of us have been in the league for 3 or 4 seasons, with the exception of Alex. We all have gotten along pretty well, and so it's kind of like a lot of very friendly matchups.
Yep.
So it's always a fun time.
Yep, I agree. Well,
That was the last game.
Oh yeah, that was the last game. Yeah. Well, thank you for having me on.
Yeah, it was amazing. Love to have you on again if you ever have the time. I got plenty of openings on the schedule, so
For sure. Yeah. I'll probably I'll be on again at some point. And thanks for putting this together. It's a great addition to the variety of media that we have floating around on our server. It's always awesome to have something like going consistent like this. So yeah, thank you for all the work you're doing. It's great.
yeah, I do my best. The editing is still, I'm not an expert by no means, but I try to have time to put them together. Anyone has any editing tips? Let me know, because I need some tips to try to reduce the amount of time it takes to edit all these.
Podcasting it's work, especially when it's longer episodes, but there's so much fun to listen to, especially like putting something like this together for this league is it's a labor of love. So
yeah, I love the just chatting with everyone about the leagues and everything. It's just so much fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks again for coming on, and go fish.
Yeah, go fish. Yeah. Thank you.